Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I'm here today with a bonus box for the month of October. So you can use these for Halloween treats or, whatever you need. I don't have any Halloween paper, and so I'm still using our Simple Stories, Simple Vintage Fall. What is this called? Simple Vintage Country Harvest. So as you can see, I already decorated the box. What had happened was I did the box, but then I spilled, okay, you should never have your drinks near your workspace, which I didn't have a drink, I had a snack. When I mean snack, I mean I had McDonald's, and I spilled sweet and sour sauce all over the back of the box. And so I cut the panel off, and we're going to redo the box. And I don't know what I did with my measurements page. So we're going to start from scratch, which is fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and measure this out, which this is roughly, let me use my mat here. This is just your regular peanut M&Ms. I'm going to do 3. I'm just going to make it easier on myself and do 3. So 3 by, and we're going to do by 6 1/4. Yeah. We could probably do 6 1/8, but yeah, I'm going to do 6 1/8. By, this doesn't seem too thick. Let's do it by 3/4. Okay. So that math is going to be a little bit, we're going to change this to 6 1/4. There we go. Okay, so we're going to use the measurements 3 by 6 1/4 by 3/4. Okay. So what I know from the other box is that the measurement is going to be, it might be bigger than our paper, because I want to use an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, because I only have black and craft in 12 by 12 paper. But I'm going to show you, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to show you what we can do to this last flap to make our box work. So now I need 3/4, I need 3/4, and right now I'm not going to write anything in here just yet, unless you want to phantom pencil it like that. So I do know that we need 3/4 1/2, 3/4 1/2. My left to right is 3. My up and down is 6 1/4. Okay, so let's map this out. Okay, now my left to right, I am not going to fold this in my head. We're going to do 0.75 plus 3 plus 0.75 plus 3 plus 0.75. That comes out to 8 1/4, so we're good. Now, I think originally I had it, okay, yeah, we're good with this one, so we can do 3/4. But originally, I think I had it at 1 inch. Let's see, 1 2 3 6 9. Okay, yeah, oh, here it is. So I originally had it at 1 inch on the sides, which we didn't need that much, but it came out to be 9 inches across. All I did was change my last flap by 1/2 inch to make it fit on the 8.5. So your very last section does not have to be the same as your other two. Okay, this is just your closing flap. You can have this at 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 1 inch, whatever you need it to fit on that 8.5 paper, just change it, And I'll show you what I mean when we get to that part. All right, so let's go ahead and math out this. What did we say it was? 0.75 plus 3 plus 0.75 plus 3 plus 0.75, 8 1/4. So 8 1/4 by 0.75, no, 0.5 plus 0.75 plus 6.25 plus 0.75 plus 0.5 by 8 3/4. 8 3/4. Okay. So our long side is the 8 3/4. And so we need to score that at 1/2 and 1 1/4. And then we'll get the other measurement. Now on the bottom, we need, on the short side, we need 3/4, 3 3/4. And then let's see, 0.75, 0.75 plus 3 plus 0.75, 4 1/2, and 7 1/2. Okay, there you go. Now let's go ahead and cut our paper to 8 1/4. So 8 1/4 by 8 3/4. Okay. So since we have the long side up on our board, we need to measure 1/2 inch and then 1 1/4 on both sides, 1/2 inch. Oh. And 1 1/4. Okay. So those measurements are 1/2 inch, 1 1/4, 7 1/2, and 8 1/4. So 7 1/2 and 8 1/4. Excuse me. There we go. If you want to do it that way, we definitely can. All right. I have lotion on my hands and look, it's getting all over my paper. I hate that. All right. So put the short side up top and we need 1/2 inch. And sorry. The first measurement, we need 3/4 inch. On the short side, 3/4, 3 3/4. If you're following with me and you did this accidental double, you'll be fine. It'll work. So 3 3/4, 4 1/2, and 7 1/2. Okay. Just make sure when you burnish the correct line. You need the 3/4 inch. I'm human. And I'm gonna make that, because it's all wonky, I'm gonna make that my closing flap. So you won't even see it. You won't even see the messed up line. But I hope that you guys prep your work. Follow the measurements in the description box because they're correct. Alright, so scoring up my box or varnishing my box. Okay, so same routine. Put your double score marks top and bottom, so you have your 1/2 inch on top and bottom. And 1, let me see this better with, no, maybe better pencil. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Same thing, the 4 boxes on the top right and the bottom right. So in this case, it's 2 long rectangles and a short rectangle and a square. Just cut off the 4. Okay. Miter and miter. Okay, pause. So when I was saying on this one that if I wanted this to be a 1-inch gusset, it was going to come to the measurement of 9, and I wanted to use an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. All I had to do was make this flap that 1/2 inch smaller, so that way it would fit on an 8.5 piece of paper and it was still close. So even if you cut this down to 1/4 inch, it doesn't matter. You just need a little piece of something to close your box. That's all this extra flap does, the ending flap on any of them. There's a fresh sheet. So this ending flap does not have to be the same as your other 2, okay? Flap number 1, flap number 2, they need to be the same measurement because that's what folds around your item. That's going to be, I'm going to show you this. That's going to be here and here. Flap number 3, you don't even see that. That's just a closer one. So anytime your measurements are bigger than what paper size you have, if you can, just change this measurement. It's fine. You're going to do the same process that we do. It's just going to be a little bit smaller. And that is fine. Okay. So I'm going to change that. We're going to miter. Cut up with score lines. Cut off 1/2 and miter. Score line. 1/2. Miter. Miter. Okay. Rotate it. Score line. 1/2. Miter. Miter. Score line. 1/2. Miter. Miter. Right. Clean up. And don't throw it on the floor like I did. Again, I think I threw it on the floor last week too. Alright, back to starting position. Make sure my box is going to close correctly. It does. Glue. Maybe. Making sure you get those corners. Those top corners. Close my box perfectly. Adhere that glue. Make sure my corners are glued in. Let your glue dry. That's my biggest thing. I never let my glue dry. Corner around your flaps. And check your box. This one's a little tight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the tiniest sliver of all the slivers that were tiny. I mean, less than 1/8 of an inch. Okay. You want to cut off the least amount you can at a time, because you can always cut off, you can't put it back on. So if you've got some resistance, take a sliver. Perfect. That's all we needed, this tiny little sliver. That just means I didn't cut the score line properly. That's all that means. All right, I'll put our M&Ms in there. That fits perfectly. making sure my top of my box fits. Perfect. So since I already decorated my panel, I'm just going to add this. Like, I need to cut it down a little bit. But what I did for this is I took the, this paper pad is the 8 by something, 6 by 8 paper pad. And I had a sheet like this. And all I did was cut out the part that I wanted. So here is the whole sheet. And I wanted that butterfly. So I cut out on my paper trimmer what I wanted. See there? Because I wanted to keep the Hello Fall in case I can use it for another project. And I just cut it there, and then I cut the top. And then what I did was I added a sticker. These like faux washi tape stickers that come in the sticker pad. Right here. I added that one. And then I found 2 little bees that were right here. And I just added the 2 little bees down there. So it just looks cohesive, even though it's only because this piece of paper was too small. But no one needs to know your paper was too small. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this down. Because, like I said, it was for the orange box that I did. But we had some sweet and sour problems there. Okay. Yes, I am sniffling. I'm still battling the sinus infection. I don't know. It's been like, I don't know, weeks. Alright, let me see if that's going to work. I may have to cut it down a little bit more. Let me see if I can get this. This is what I love about the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer. I can get this 1/16 of an inch. Like butter. Look at that. This is a tiny little sliver. Tiny, tiny little thing. Less than 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to have to move this up just a little bit. So what I do and don't love about these stickers, they feel like washi tape, but as you can see, they easily peel up. And so if you want a more permanent sticker, you're going to have to glue it. Oh my gosh, I love that. Okay. Just have a little tiny bit right here that I want to cut off. Perfect. Let's glue this on. Normally I wouldn't layer, you know, another piece of cardstock on here because again, these are for craft fairs, you know, things that people are going to throw away. But I just cut it off that other box. Okay. And I know a lot of you are like, that's what the dining room table for is to eat. Well, the dining room table is my craft space. So I have one little tiny place setting for David so he can eat dinner. And then usually I eat dinner right here on my mat. But I decided to eat lunch on my mat when I had a project on here. And yeah, that didn't work out. But anyway, so how super cute is this? You can add whatever you want. You know, I'd probably add some gems or something if I was giving this in a swap. But how beautiful is this box? You can add your finger pulls only because I have my thing out right here. Perfect. Beautiful, beautiful box. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.